My name is Ryan Stadler, and today I will be. Hello, my name is Ryan Stadler, and today I will be presenting on Xanax. This is Criminal Justice 3300. So let's begin. Xanax is a commonly prescribed medication with significant social, health, and legal implications. In this presentation, I will cover its history, the social correlates of its use, current trends in consumption, its portrayal in the media, as well as treatment and prevention efforts. So let's do this. Background and history of Xanax. I'm going to introduce the drug and its origins, where it came from. So Xanax is the brand name for alprazolam, a medication belonging to a class of benzodiazepines. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It is primarily prescribed for the treatment of anxiety and panic disorders. Developed in the early 1960s by Upjohn Company, which later merged with Pfizer. Xanax was first approved by the FDA in 1981. Xanax, kind of gonna go over how it works. It works by enhancing the effect of the neurotransmitter GABA, G-A-B-A, which has calming effect on the brain and nervous system. This makes Xanax effective for managing anxiety symptoms, but also increases the potential for a lot of misuse. Initially hailed as a breakthrough medication, Xanax became widely prescribed throughout the 1980s and 1990s, gaining a reputation as a quick fix for anxiety. By the late 1990s, it was among the most commonly prescribed medication in the United States. All right. The next slide, social correlates and its use. I'm going to discuss the various social factors related to Xanax use. Xanax usage has several important social correlates, which can be divided into demographics, health, economy, and criminal factors. Demographics. Xanax is mostly commonly prescribed to adults, especially middle-aged and older individuals suffering from anxiety. However, misuse is also significant among young adults and teenagers who often abuse the drug recreationally. Institutionally, Xanax is widely prescribed by both general practitioners and psychiatrists, but there's growing concern about overprescription. It's also frequently involved in polysubstance abuse, which is users combining Xanax with alcohol and opioids, which is not good. Some health factors. Overuse of Xanax can lead to physical dependence, withdrawal symptoms, really bad withdrawal symptoms, and cognitive impairments. The risk of overdose increases significantly when combined with alcohol or opioids. Economy factor. Xanax is relatively affordable with insurance coverage, but can be expensive without it, leading to some individuals to seek it from illicit sources like a drug dealer. Some criminal factors. Misuse of Xanax, especially in combination with other substances, has led to increase in criminal activity, including driving under the influence and drug trafficking. So, some pretty basic stuff, like stuff you would generally like know. So, next slide. Historical and current trends in consumption. I'm going to examine how Xanax use has evolved over time. Historically, Xanax's prescription rate rose dramatically in the 1980s and 1990s, as said before, as doctors increasingly recognized anxiety disorders. Prescriptions for Xanax soared. However, with the increase in prescription came a rise in misuse. Xanax became one of the most commonly misused prescription drugs, especially in combination with opioids, leading to a surge in overdose deaths. In recent years, The abuse of Xanax has remained a significant public health issue. The National Institute on Drug Abuse reports that misuse of benzodiazepines like Xanax is particularly prevalent among adolescents and young adults. Many individuals also misuse Xanax to experience a calming or euphoric high, often alongside other illicit substances. Big one, how Xanax is portrayed in the media. Xanax has a complex portrayal in the media, both as a legitimate treatment for anxiety and as a symbol of the overprescription culture. Big culture. Movies and TV. Xanax is frequently depicted in films and television shows as a quick fix for stress or anxiety. For example, in shows like Breaking Bad or The Sopranos, Xanax is portrayed as something easily accessible and necessary to cope with daily pressures. Number 2, music. Songs, particularly within the hip-hop and rap genre, have also normalized Xanax use, with artists like Lil Peep referencing it in their lyrics. This is Lil Peep. I don't really like this guy, but that's very true. And there's more than just Lil Peep. Like everyone, and it's not just Xanax, it's everything. It's just, there's a big normalizing culture, and people are just falling for it. No one's, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but people just eat it up. You know, oh, that's so cool, and then they want to try it for themselves, and it's just like, stop. This portrayal often overlooks the risks of addiction and overdose, and people don't see the negative effects of it. They just see, oh, this cool rapper's doing it, so I gotta try it too. And it's really dumb. 3, social media, a big one. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok sometimes glamorize Xanax use, often showing it as part of a carefree, chill lifestyle. TikTok is so, I can go on a rant about TikTok. I'm gonna go on a tangent. There's 2 different sides of TikTok. There's the side where my mom watches TikTok. That's the best way to put it. When she opens her TikTok, it's puppies and sunshine and everything's all good. Heartwarming stories. If I open TikTok, it's horrible. It's drug use. It's people having seizures and going to the hospital. People bleeding, like the gory stuff that I don't want to see. I deleted TikTok. I don't want to see that stuff. And I don't know. It's the algorithm. Funny story. A couple years ago, I don't know, maybe not even a couple years, maybe a year ago, I saw a guy doing Xanax. Funny enough, and he was just popping Xanax, a bunch of Xanax, and I thought it was funny. The dude looked like a tweaker. Like I was gonna save it and send it to my friend. Wow. I opened it. I opened my phone 5 minutes later. I was gonna send it to my friend. Video's banned. I can't even see the video. It got taken off TikTok, as it should. It's a good thing. I opened my phone a day later. Oh, 1 Xanax video. I'm swiping. 2 Xanax video. 3 Xanax video. I'm like, what is going on? I'm reading these comments. Everyone's like, oh, this is so funny. LMAO. I'm gonna try it myself. It's that repetition of young minds seeing these videos, and it's the repetition, and it's reinforcing the fact that it's really not that bad. It's a chill lifestyle, but it is bad, and these guys are falling for it. And I want to say it's like young kids, but it's people like my age, like 20-year-olds. They just eat it up. They're developing a TikTok brain. It's hard to explain unless you live that lifestyle. It's really bad. And that's off the top of my head. So if that doesn't make sense, it makes sense to me. But TikTok is bad. I don't want to have TikTok. I never want to have TikTok downloaded again. I don't even want to hear the word TikTok. I hate TikTok. Next slide. Treatment and prevention efforts. I'm going to discuss efforts to address the Xanax issue. Treatment for Xanax addiction typically involves detoxification under medical supervision, followed by gradual tapering, a process to avoid severe withdrawal symptoms. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is often used to help individuals change their behavior and reduce cravings. In terms of prevention, there are several key efforts. One is education. Public health campaigns aim to educate both patients and the general public about the risk of misusing Xanax. The goal is to create awareness about its addictive potential. Number 2, prescription guidelines. To combat overprescription, some healthcare providers have become more cautious in prescribing Xanax, often opting for an alternative treatment such as SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors for anxiety. Big words. Number 3, rehabilitation. Many individuals who misuse Xanax seek to help through rehabilitation programs that specialize in benzodiazepine dependence. So that's just some ways to treat Xanax, or this Xanax culture and how they're trying to diminish that. Next slide. Legislation, legalization, and harm reduction. I'm going to explain the legal framework and the harm reduction measures. Xanax is classified as a Schedule 4 controlled substance in the U.S. This classification means it has a low potential for abuse, but is still highly regulated. Unauthorized possession or distribution of Xanax can lead to significant legal consequences. Several harm reduction efforts have been put in place, including prescription monitoring programs, PDMPs. These programs track prescriptions and help identify patterns of overprescription and potential misuse. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking, he's really loud. Number 2, naloxone access. As part of harm reduction, some communities provide naloxone, a medication that can reverse opioid overdoses, to individuals who may be at risk of combining Xanax with opioids. Number 3, legislation. In response to the growing misuse of Xanax and other prescription medications, several states have passed laws to restrict access to benzodiazepines and promote alternative treatments for anxiety and panic disorders, which is good. A lot of people are trying to cut down on that culture. Okay, wrapping it up here. Conclusion. To summarize, Xanax is widely used medication that has both positive and negative impacts on society. While it is effective in treating anxiety and panic disorders, its misuse has led to a number of public health issues, including addiction, overdose, and increased criminal activity. Efforts to address the issue include improving prescription practices, preventative education, and rehabilitation programs. Additionally, legislative actions and harm reduction efforts such as prescription monitoring and naloxone distribution are helping to mitigate the risks associated with Xanax use. All right, that's it. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any that you have. These are my references. Right here, National Institute on Drug Abuse, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, peer-reviewed articles on benzodiazepine misuse and treatment strategies, World Health Organization, WHO. All right, a little longer than 10 minutes, probably because my rant on TikTok. I do not like TikTok. It's really bad on the young mindsets, and people are developing a TikTok brain, which is not good. I don't like TikTok. I feel like that's the biggest issue with social media. Just, influencing people that it's really not that bad, but it is bad. And people are, I hate people. People are so blind and dumb enough to listen to other people on the internet. I couldn't stand it. I had to delete it for myself. I couldn't read one more comment, I couldn't see one more video of someone doing something stupid. So that's my that's my 10-minute presentation on Xanax. I hope you enjoyed. I had a good semester. This was a fun class.